course, I mute myself right off the bat because Jim does that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition, season six premiere of Inside the Walls podcast. I wanted to get an episode out. Been gone for a couple weeks. We got a lot of things working behind scenes for the next iteration of the show, but we have a lot of news and notes to cover league wide. From announcements to expansion, want to tap into those little conversations. And if you're on the platforms right now. Remember, you can visit all the information for the National Arena League at thenationalarenaleague.com to get to the National Arena League. And of course, visit all the websites associated with your favorite NAL team. That is thenationalarenaleague.com. So hopefully everyone's having a blessed evening. College football's in the air. NFL is starting up. It's heating up. That's what things that we like about the sport. It's the outdoor game. It's the indoor game, and we just move on from there. A lot of news and notes we can talk about the National Arena League. But I wanted to jump on it about this show, this program. Where is the next phase of Inside the Walls podcast? Inside the Walls podcast will continue. We will be back for season 6 for the National Arena League. Myself and a co-host will join me. We'll make an announcement of that on a later date. Will join me. Unfortunately, one of our co-hosts, a dedicated fan, still a good friend of mine. We banter a lot on social media between our college football foes, and we're good friends behind scenes, and that's with Matt Patton. Matt Patton, as you know, has decided to become just a fan, so I wish him well. He'll still banter. Knowing him, he'll message me and banter more about things about the indoor community, about the NAL, about the NFL and college football, and so on and so forth. So, but the future's different. This off season, the format's going to change some. The off season will only be about basic straight interviews with players, with ownership groups, to organizations throughout the off season. As we get closer to the actual season itself, we'll have segments. We're going to try and make it like an actual production show. Honestly, we're going to try and make it like up tier. We'll have previews and reviews. We'll have breakdowns, some interviews, but we'll have more content during the season. But in the off season, we're going to be a little bit spread out, but we will give you content as each week comes. If there's news that breaks, we'll join. If not, I'll have an interview, or my co-host will join me, and we'll have an interview with a coach, a player, or an organization, expansion team, like the Punishers or the Amarillo Warbirds or the Dallas Bulls. We'll have them on, talk about the organization. We'll have a lot of stuff to talk about in the National Arena League this all season. Very hectic, very busy. And as we progress, as I like to say in the National Arena League, especially in all the indoor communities, with all the indoor leagues, this is what we like to call speculation season. This is where rumors run amok and rumors go crazy. And this is also where inside sources turn out to be 100% wrong, but somewhat accurate at the same time. And that's one thing I love about speculation season. But let's get into some news and notes for the National Arena League. As you know, the announcer, they were at the league meetings a couple of weeks ago in Viva Las Vegas, and the rumors that I've heard that we're going through this meeting were crazy, and I just sat back on social media and smiled and said, hey, at least we're getting some good publicity out of it. The ownership groups met and made some, league operational needs. And as weeks come ahead, the league will announce certain things that, as for me, to you as a fan, you'll really enjoy what the NAL has in store. This NAL is it's led by a different individual whose mindset is well respected in the industry, and that it will continue to enrich what the league is about. So I'm looking forward to the future of this league, especially the meetings in Viva Las Vegas. Hopefully none of our guys, none of our ownership groups went out there on the strip and gambled, because you can be winners and losers. But the meetings were earlier this month in Viva Las Vegas for the National Arena League. And in that National Arena League meeting, they kind of got together and brought on 3 new groups to the National Arena League. But there's also other news and notes that came from that besides we get to the organizations. Let's get to the actual league news. Let me get off of this screen right here. The Deuce is back. The Deuce is back. That was a reintroduction of the ball. As you know, the Deuce is back. The football's back. We got the branding back. We got the ball back. That was one of the announcements that hit earlier in the month for the National Arena League. One of the other news and notes from out of the ownership meeting is the phrase, like the logo behind me, the National Arena League. It's now the National Arena League. It's the website, thenationalarenaleague.com. Everything. That's another one. But one of the other things is, I think this is a good step forward to getting the information correctly. The National Arena League now has a registry where if you're a social media content creator, from a podcaster to a website designer to a media member for your local media team, for the local CBS or ABC, whatever, you can go to the National Arena League and register your email and get news. When the news breaks in the National Arena League, you get it right then and there, and you don't need other content creators to get the information from. It comes right to you via email. Easy's on the website. You just go to thenationalarenaleague.com, go in the top far right, and you see media registry. Click on that, enter your email information, and boom, you get the information right directly towards you for any type of news, breaking news, or mostly like breaking news, but any type of news in NL related, especially during the season where we get more content, we get towards games. That's when it starts getting really spicy for the 2026 season. And go figure, just a blink of the eye, can you believe it? The season ended. Beaumont won the championship, and now we're in the off season. And now we get 4 owners meetings, and it's been like a crazy 3 months. And now we are on path to the 2026 season. And the 2026 season brings on 3 new organizations in the National Arena League. And let's start off with a familiar logo, familiar team, the Dallas Bulls. The Dallas Bulls are a organization that many of us in the industry know who it is, but we're proud to have them here in the National Arena League. The majority owner, Doc C.J. Hudson, who represented the Bulls during the owners' meeting, they got the decision, they made the commitment, and they signed. And from the quote from the majority owner, Doc C.J. Hudson, he even said that he is truly honored to receive today's decision from the league's board and the group, and has almost respect for the league. The Bulls look forward to hosting a local team press conference soon and plan to play in the Dallas style big. So I don't know what the news and notes are coming from Dallas, but it seems like CJ Hudson has a mind of doing it big like we do in Texas. Texas is what? The Lone Star State, and anything in Texas, got to go big. So hopefully everything's there situated, and we will cover that when that stuff breaks to give you more in-depth information about the Dallas Bulls. Also, the Punishers. One of the logos I look at and go, okay, am I playing a video game, or is this a intro to a horror movie or biker gang? But I love the logo. The Pueblo Punishers are getting started again. Nice team in Colorado. Right off the bat, them and the Spartans get a little in-state rivalry going on right off the bat. I'd love to see that. The Punishers will kick off their inaugural campaign in Southwest Motors Event Center. So a familiar arena that has history in arena football and indoor football. So the facility knows it's the area that's best known for the Colorado State Fair. It will have its first female NAL majority owner in Miss Lisa. So it's pretty exciting there. And of course, for the people there in Colorado, you got the Spartans, you got the Punishers. I guarantee there'll be some little tussles between those 2 organizations in the future. And of course, the final and third team somewhat makes a return back to the National Arena League. That is the Amarillo Warbirds, formerly known as the West Texas Warbirds. They are led by majority owner, my apologies. They're led by Lev Kurtz, president and CEO of the Warbirds. He brings it back to the National Arena League. They will play in the Amarillo Civic Center. And if you look on their social media right now, ladies and gentlemen, I got to give credit to the Punishers and the Warbirds right now. Social media is popping every single day. There's something coming from these organizations. It's nice seeing that. Get ahead of the game, get the stuff out, get the content out, and you start promoting the front of your teams. Because even though I just mentioned how this is speculation season, this is also selling season for a lot of these groups. Get out there, get in the community, and rock it out, because you do it now in August and September and October when football is pretty high in high school and college games. People will show up in the arenas in March, April, and May. But to the fans out there watching us right now, we got 20 strong watching us. Comment on the Ask questions, comment. What do you think about the additions of the NAL? What you're looking forward to? What you think? What's your opinion on the way that the NAL needs to go to 2026? Let us know, because trust me, we as a National Arena League listen to the fans, and we work a lot behind scenes to try and provide what the fans want. So leave a comment, like, share, subscribe to the YouTube account, even watch old games on the NAL's YouTube page. Get all the connections there. Likes, share. Of course, follow us on Inside the Walls podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, so you can get up-to-date information as this progresses each and every week. Next week, we will kind of be better. Well, let's say next week we'll do another show, and we'll bring another co-host on. We'll bring him back on next week. He is currently busy with a lot of high school football and sports around his region, and I'm looking forward to get this season to kick off. And if you keep your eyes on Inside the Walls podcast and the news from the National League, we will update you on guests and who we bring on. There's some potential big guests that are going to join the show this off season from all the organizations. We're going to have coaches on. We're going to have some of your favorite players on, especially some returning players. If they go back to your favorite team, we'll have them on, or they may go to your new arch rival. We'll have them on. This offseason will be dedicated to the players, the ownership groups, and the league itself. As we get into the 2026 season, that's when we start breaking down games and get into the back and forth banter we do as reporters and people who break in. But overall, it's college football season. It's the NFL season. Football is in the air, and you got to love it. The National Arena League ended, and we saw an epic game that came down to the very end between Omaha and Beaumont. Congratulations again to the Renegades for winning the championship. But if you look around the industry, the Omaha Beef have not stopped, as they have been signing players left and right. Sioux City's getting in the game. Amarillo is signing players left and right as well. If you look on all their social medias, you could tell that the offseason doesn't stop for certain teams, especially like in Omaha. But to give you guys updates, especially for players who are paying attention right now, if you want to know, there are open tryouts coming to both Omaha and Amarillo. Team tryouts at Sam Houston Middle School. This is in Amarillo. You go to their Facebook account, click on the links to sign up to get to the tryouts. That will be on October 18th at 8 a.m. Amarillo. So that'll be Central Time, Western Mountain Time. I may be wrong, could be Central. So 8 a.m. Amarillo time. Let's just right there. That's my bad not knowing time zones. Okay, I have to apologize, folks. And also in Omaha, there is a QR code on Omaha's little flyer. October 25th, the Omaha Beef will have their open tryouts. Click on the code there as well to get what's going on with the Omaha Beef. So Amarillo and Omaha are doing team tryouts here pretty soon in the October. So football is here. And that means if you're players, remember, just look on these team sites. Look at Sioux City, look at Shreveport, look at Colorado, look at Amarillo, look at Omaha, and look at Dallas, look at Idaho, look at all these organizations and see where they have their camps, so you can find out where the camps are, get your chance to get the opportunity, because there are some players, like you look at the NFL this past week, a record number of undrafted free agents made opening day rosters in the National Football League, the NFL. That tells you that there's an opportunity. And sometimes with the NAL, an opportunity is just get on the field. And Omaha has history of getting guys that have been overlooked. They come in as a tryout, make the team, and they become stars. Sioux City's had that in the past. My organization here in my hometown has done that in the past as well. So find your way. Do not, I'm going to just, this is from my experience, do not message the league page or the podcast page. Go to the team that you think they're doing a tryout, message them, because usually their operations is what control. For myself, I can help lead you your way, but that's not my job. But to get direct connections, go to the coaches, go to the associates of those organizations, visit their Facebook pages, their Twitter accounts, their Instagram pages. Go right there to get where you want to go to get connected to the right opportunities. And of course, those opportunities consist of the Omaha Beef on the 25th of October and the Amarillo Warbirds on October 18th at 8 o'clock as well, and the QR code for Omaha and Amarillo. But overall, we had the league meetings. We are the reintroduction of the Deuce. It's nothing different. It's still the same football, just we're reintroducing it. We had new teams. Dallas Bulls, as we discussed. The Warbirds, somewhat of a kind of a return, but in Amarillo, and the Punishers. The season is, well, the off-season is off-season. A lot of speculation, a lot of conversation, but to get most accurate information, it's easy for you, the fans, or you as medium people. You don't need to be, try and get, what you hear and where you're hearing. You get it directly from the source. Go to the nationalarenaleague.com registry, put your email in, and get the newsletter when breaking news hits for the National Arena League as well. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to find the National Arena League, remember it's the nationalarenaleague.com. That's the website for all information about the National Arena League, for the upcoming dates, upcoming announcements. And of course, follow us on social media at NAL Football, at the National Arena League on Facebook page, and much, much more. And of course, the community pages that are out there for the National Arena League. Go fans, go interact with those fans, build up the community, do friendly banter, enjoy the sport. The off season is creative. We might do something here on Inside the Walls a little bit this off season for maybe a giveaway of sorts. If you're a gamer, just FYI, we might be doing something that deals with either Madden or College Football 26. We haven't decided what that is at this point. But at the end of the winter, we're trying to see, personally, this is the Inside the Walls podcast, not the National Arena League. Inside the Walls podcast might give away some tickets, whoever wins a tournament at the end. So we'll figure that out. Announcements coming pretty soon. Fun off season ahead. We'll get it to a point where we will basically, as the season gets closer, we'll have the commissioner on. We'll have some of the ownership on. We will have the rules of the officials come on. We'll talk about the rules and talk about how the league is going to be, what 2026 is going to be, what type of season is it, how many games, how many playoff positions. As we get closer, we'll get people who are representing the NAL to break down more of what 2026 is all about. I wanted to get on here and get some information and really promote the league itself, because we've been gone for a couple of weeks since the off season. A lot of stuff happens in the off season, of course. As you know, if you follow any of my productions, I do another show here in my hometown for my hometown team. So we've been pretty busy with that show as well. But we're going to keep it on par. Getting my new co-host next couple of weeks to get on, hopefully next week, to break down more action, and we'll start getting some interviews. We'll talk about some of the free agent signings happening around the NAL right now. If you look at Amarillo, if you're a fan of the Warbirds, it looks like it's the old school Warbird team versus some of the new guys coming in. Talvin Shaw is a guy who pops out in my mind right off the bat. I'm like, man, he's been around the block some. Like Aaron Pilgrim is another guy who's popped in. Philip Harding coming back. Tyler Gangrel coming back. Like, I look at their team, especially Amarillo. I'm like, this is like the old school Amarillo, old school Warbirds back in the day. So it's nice how that team has got up and started cooking. If we look at the Sioux City Bandits, they have started their free agency. They announced on their accounts today that a offensive lineman, Sterling Clark, has returned, and this is his, I think, third season back with the Bandits. So, knowing the Bandits, and if you're the Bandits fans watching, you know your organization. A lot of the guys who played the team come back and sign up pretty quick, especially in Omaha. Omaha does. They've gotten on the track quickly as well. They have they have five, no, correct. They have 6 guys returning so far signed, and have a couple good free agents that played both in Wheeling and in Carolina under under Brandon DeGrone, especially Taven Fitzgerald, an offensive lineman who played for Brandon DeGrone with the Carolina Cobras. So you're bringing this experience in Omaha. And we have a couple other free agencies. We can go into the free agency talk. So I'm thinking about next week, next time, we'll start looking at some of the off-season moves that we're seeing some of these teams on. Hopefully, some of these players, we get a chance to bring forth to you, the fans, so you know who these guys are, because we're way, way ahead of the season. But we want to tell you who's on the team, who's officially signed. And if you want up-to-date information of the National Arena League for all player signings, remember the nationalarenaleague.com or Inside the Walls podcast on Facebook and Facebook, Twitter, and social media. Different type of style of show tonight. I wanted to get some stuff out here. Got a couple of questions that popped in from my co-host of another show, Fantasy Football League. That's pretty hard when it's a league show there, Bob. Probably on our show itself that might work, but not this one. Breaking news: Steelers to the Super Bowl. Okay, here we go again. Again, I'll still stand on my ground. But anyways, hopefully everyone out there is watching. 26 people are watching on a random Wednesday night here in the National Arena League. I love it. Enjoy it. Remember to follow us again on all social media at nalfootball.com. Remember, college football and NFL season are ramping up, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing going on in the indoor game. Remember, National Arena League, thenationalarenaleague.com. Follow us on Inside the Walls podcast for updated information of the National Arena League, and maybe some next week. You know what? We're going to do it. Next week, we'll be back, and we'll have a special guest on us next week to talk about, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I can't take a couple weeks off and leave you guys hanging. We'll be back next week. We'll say, let's go back to our original schedule. Let's go back to Tuesday nights. We'll be back on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll make some phone calls. I'll try to recruit my co-host to jump on next Tuesday night to talk about some NAL football and try to get this 2026 off season on the ropes. We will do a show next week, and we'll depend on what's going on. We'll continue on that. I just want to get the information out there, what has happened. Welcome to the new organizations that have joined the National Arena League. That is the Amarillo Warbirds, the Dallas Bulls, and the Pueblo Punishers. That logo got to me like, am I going to play a video game, or am I in the wrong position on the highway? And that's a guy with a motorcycle. And of course, the Dallas Bulls joined, and the Amarillo Warbirds are on the path as well. And remember, to the players who are watching and you want to get some tryouts, remember Amarillo Warbirds on October 18th, 8 o'clock a.m. Amarillo time. I got to figure out what is it, Central Mountain, but go on their website, Facebook page, Amarillo Warbirds, to get the chance to get tryouts. Also, Omaha Beef. Click that QR code. Maybe too small for the screen, but if you're watching on a big 85-inch screen TV, I think it's a good size to get it October 25th for the Omaha Beef. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I know I can go on for another 7 hours, but I have to have stuff to talk about. And of course, I just want to give you some of the information that's going on this off season. A lot of good things ahead in the National Arena League. Season 6, for me, covering the league is going to be pretty exciting. Got a lot of stuff happen behind the scenes that I really want to talk about and like present to you guys, but I can't. But we look forward to what's going on in the future. I can't wait to actually have it on open. We can start talking about it. It'd be pretty cool. Good things ahead for the National Arena League, especially the moves that the commissioner and these owners are doing. It's clearly, let's just say, it's going to the right place. And remember, visit all information for the National Arena League, thenationalarenaleague.com, and also follow us on all social media, Inside the Walls Podcast, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I am Jim Renier. This is season 6 premiere. We'll be back next week for some more Inside the Walls podcast and breaking down some NAL action. Be well, be safe, enjoy college football, folks. College football is back. You gotta love it, I swear. See you guys next week. Bless you.